to the show.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. His name is John, founder of Pawfessional Pet Care, Hoboken, New Jersey.
No, it's Jersey City.
Jersey City. My bad. Jersey
And
City.
it's Pawfessional Pet Care, actually.
I bossed your name. I apologize.
That's okay. That's all right.
How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going with this pandemic?
It's been a rough, more than of course a handful of months going on, but I've actually lost I would say about 95% of my clientele.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I was at one point walking and taking care of cats as well.
Wow.
But I would say I'd had about maybe 15 to 30 clients a day. And now I'm down to two a day. That's it.
Wow. This pandemic hit us really hard.
Yeah,
Really
it's
hard. Wow.
been tough. So, and especially, people have families and stuff. I'm not the only one suffering. But I could say, um, if you stick your feet in and you keep them buried in there, don't let nobody move you or shake you. Just believe in what you've started and just keep it going. Don't give up because there's plenty of business out there for everyone. You just have to be mindful and be smart about how you use your money and how you spend it and your time, of course.
Definitely. I'm sorry to hear that. But hopefully, 2021 is around the corner.
Yes, thank
Hopefully,
God.
with this podcast and just in general, it will help the economy and you can get back on your feet with your business. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
because
appreciate it.
I,
Definitely.
I, I follow you on social media and, dude, you make me feel like I need to get a pet. That's how much love. That's how much love and happiness these animals appear to be in. Like they look happy.
I
Uh,
mean, I try my best, and I believe it does show in videos. Pictures can say one thing, but videos speak, a lot louder than anything. And I try to put up at least a video on most of my pictures if I put something up, I usually try to put at least a video just so it's more authentic. People can feel. It's a little nerve-wracking because insecurities play a part in that and stuff like that. But
definitely,
you,
definitely.
you get over that within time, and you just do what you know is right for the people, for whoever your client is or whatnot. So that way, it can put their mind at ease, and it also just gives peace of mind for you too, just them knowing that they're being cared for at the time that you said that you were going to be there. So it puts a lot of things in perspective.
Definitely. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I could tell you that I did it about when my first daughter was born, and she just turned 16 in June. So with that being said, I didn't do it above. I didn't want to cut you, but I worked for somebody else when
Yeah.
she was first born, and I was walking about 30 to 40 dogs a day. So after a period of about 10 years of, working for other people and stuff like that, one day I just said, what am I doing? Like making all this money for other people when I could be doing it for myself. This is nuts. I've ran businesses, big businesses before, managed big businesses. So I've been in sales and management for long enough to say, you know what, it's time to start making my own bread and stop giving it away to everyone else. And exactly what I did, which was I would say about 6 years now ago for my business. So, and 10 years ago, I would say, well, 16, I'm sorry. 16 years ago, I worked for somebody else, and that's what inspired me. Um, because I was so good at what I was doing that it just was a no-brainer to
Just
literally
branch
just
out and do it
start up.
yourself.
Yes, definitely.
Well, you have like almost 10 plus years. Even it doesn't matter if you work with somebody else, you still have that experience. You took a gamble on yourself and you did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people see that and just they want security.
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
knowing that security is killing them. They're killing his dream. It's killing his
Yes.
passion. Because yeah, I'm not sure your experience, but when I could speak about my experience when it comes to working for other people, sometimes they just treat you like shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I love that you took, you know, especially when your first child was nearly born, you took that risk, and that's the best time to take it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I've been raised around dogs all my life, so I knew how to manage dogs to begin with. And when you break it down, um, to me, animals just have so much human characteristics that if you just treat them as maybe one of your own kids or whatnot, even if you don't have kids, there's people that they can't have kids, so they have pets, and to me, those pets are their kids. So I don't even say pets. I'll just say, "Hey, you're a kid" or something like that, and they'll kind of look at me sometimes a little weird, like like no, no. I'm like, no, you don't realize it yet, but you have a kid. You have to, take them to the vet, which is doctor's visits. You
Yeah,
got to get them clean. You got to do all types of maintenance, and a lot of people think that it's just buy the dog and just sit there and look pretty, but no, there's a lot more
it's
to it.
work.
So
It's work. It's work. You got to bathe them. It's it's incredible. I'm a big fan because I grew up in an environment that we had pets, but a pet, a dog, you know, was tied up,
mm,
or the dogs were just walking around the barrio
okay.
where I grew up and just have no owners.
Where was this?
This is in Puerto Rico. When I grew up
Okay.
in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
Bajas, Puerto Rico, Barrio
Yeah, different.
Salina Fortuna.
Nice. And different
So
places too. I like
yeah,
that. So
um, they really didn't have like here, like with you especially. Even if it's not yours, you make him feel like it's a family member.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and I didn't grow up with that. So when it came to at least dogs, I was very skeptical. And
Mm,
plus, I had a bad experience growing up. My grandfather had a one of those, I can't remember the name, but he had a dog that was very spoiled. He bit me in my face like 5 times
oh
for
man.
no reason. For no reason. I could have been. I could have. I remember the first time I was just sitting on the couch near my grandfather, and I guess he got jealous. And next thing you know,
Now
I have a dog right here on my cheek.
let's see.
And what made it a works experience for me is that my grandparents didn't see nothing wrong with it.
Wow. That's usually the dogs that are kind of the worst to kind of take care of because the parents are not even disciplining um, their pet to let them know that what they're doing is wrong, and then they're basically just get away with murder, which is with any kid. You let any kid get away with stuff, they're gonna get away with it, or they're
Yeah,
gonna try to push you as hard as they can to see what they can get away with, and it's the same thing with animals as well.
yeah. And then I started following you. My wife said she knew you, and I see you giving so much love, and you made me feel like I want a dog now. You took away that insecurity I had.
Thank you, thank you. That
Um,
that means more than you know. Believe me.
and I definitely want to get a dog, even though I can't afford it. But maybe one day, maybe this podcast will blow up and I'll be a Joe Rogan
Well,
signing a $1 billion contract and I could get a big ass
there you go.
league of running. And
Don't even say if, just say it will. That's it. Speak it
there you go.
into it.
Well,
It exists. I always tell people is there should be no ifs. Should be I can't, or there will be I will try and I can, and just speak it into it in existence,
I'm
and
into
that's it.
that.
Stay
I'm
stay
into
stay
that.
stay pushing it like that, and believe me, it'll happen. It just takes time, and like I said, you dig your feet in far enough, your roots will grow deep and no one can budge you.
See,
That's
and this is why I made this platform so that people like you could come on and speak that truth.
thank you.
I have a very, and I don't know if it's just me, right? I speak for me. I have this thing that there's not enough people like you, like yourself, to speak those things that you just stated into existence.
Hmm.
It's always negative talk or people not believing in one another, not supporting one another, and I feel we need more of this. You know,
Hmm.
we're in this pandemic. It's 2020, and corporations are not winning. The people, they need small businesses, whether it's
Yeah.
dog walking or a bodega in the corner.
Yeah.
Uh, they need us. We're the backbone
Definitely.
of America. You know, that's
Definitely.
why when the pandemic began, you had Verizon Wireless throwing commercials to support small business because they need their shit to get in our stuff.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, and I think this is the perfect time to, you know, open or create a small business or start.
Oh yeah.
You
Come on, think
know,
about it. Mask right now, mask alone has started. Just selling masks alone, people have started multiple businesses.
yeah,
If you got on that wave when it just started off, you could have started something that you never even thought to create, and it was just because you were home bored, saw everybody else doing it, and said, "Hey, I'm not going to go and wait for a mask to come in the mail. I'm going to make one myself."
exactly.
So that I give props to a lot of people and any hustle that, if anything, just because, um, you know, uh, I've started from the bottom. I didn't have nothing. It took about a year for me to just even get one client.
Yeah, it
Um,
says um, doing my research and trying to educate myself in building business. It says, you know, it takes up to minimum 5 years to start seeing returns and a certain level or of success in your business. And I think that's not bad. I think it's good. You need time. You know, your first year, it's all about you learning curves and what not to do and what works and what doesn't work for you.
yeah,
And
definitely.
I think a lot of people in that first year um, get discouraged.
Oh,
You know,
all the time.
they get this shadow of failure, and they let it consume them, and they get stuck in this failure,
Hmm.
and they don't move forward. You know, you have to fail to move forward,
Oh yeah,
and I keep
definitely.
saying that, and that's why people, I guess, stay in that mentality.
Well, I mean, I could say in my first year I almost gave up, but because the fact was a whole year of people stringing you along, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna call you, and they never called, and then you're holding on to that one person that you swore up and down was gonna call you, and they never do. Yeah, I mean, I've been crushed many times, and just was questioning like a whole year, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like I'm trying everything that I know. I'm trying to my marketing. I'm going here. I'm putting up stuff. I'm talking to major, like concierge. I would go to the front desk, talk to them, pass off, see if I could put flyers up in every building. And I got nothing. And I hate to say it, but I had to get a job. I was for out of work for about a year or more, and I decided to start my own business, and it didn't go nowhere. And then exactly what I was going around looking for, going to talk to people who were the concierge. That's where I started working as a concierge. I still had my business running for up in a year, and I couldn't afford to not work anymore, because I was getting no traffic. And when I worked there, it was only a midnight shift, graveyard shift, 2 days out of the week. 25 Hudson, right on the corner, not a huge building, right by the Colgate clock. It was right there. And literally, I could remember just having to work, and just literally, little by little, I noticed that I was placed there for a reason, because the people in that building, of course, had tons of dogs, and I'm not one to shit where I eat. So what I would say is, hey, listen, you ever need a backup? Here's my business card. Everybody needs a backup. And that's what I tell everybody. Hey, listen, I don't care if I've given business cards to either other dog walkers and got to know them better, just because the fact is I've passed out with so many cards, you know?
Yeah,
And
networking.
yes, and everybody needs a backup. Even they need a
Exactly.
back work,
Yeah.
you know? So that has opened up many doors also for me. And of course, just I'm blessed to have a rating of which I just posted on my Pawfessional Pet Care Instagram page. That
I'll
I got a
check that
4.
out.
Yes, please. I got a 4.9
Wow.
rating for it's been about a good, like, I say I would be I have been getting ratings for, which I should have started earlier, but I just wasn't into the whole social media thing and everything. But um, yeah, there's been like about 5 years of me getting reviews, and I've gotten pretty much spotless reviews, which is maybe two people that gave me 4 stars comparison to 5 stars.
Congrats. And
Everything
so
else is
and
5 stars.
sometimes people just give you 4 stars because they just don't want to give five. That's who they
Yeah,
are. That's who
yeah,
they are.
it happens, and I've scratched my head like, really, you could have given me the 5, right? But I say, you know what? I'm just I'm blessed, and I'm proud of my accomplishments, and just being where I'm at right now, and um, just even thinking like, wow, I'm not even coming close to what I was making. I'm on unemployment. I'm making a little bit here and there, but my business is now starting to where I'm getting new clients.
Yeah.
And I was at a point where I was almost having to hire somebody else in the beginning of the year because it was getting too hectic where I was actually not losing business, more pushing business to other people. So I knew I needed more people because there were actually people that wanted to use me, but it was just time frame and being in two places at once. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need to hire somebody. And then once this
Boom.
pandemic hit, it was like, oh crap, like damn, what am
Yeah.
I gonna do now? So
See, this time, right? Because I'm not that far away from you. I'm going through similar situations you're going through.
okay,
Um, I have to. I How do I put it? I appreciate this time, right?
mm,
Because I'm an individual that sometimes I need to sit back and I'm the type of individual I sit back and enjoy the view. I'm
okay,
not in the view. I'm a person. I'm enjoying the view, and this pandemic, this setback, it's me. It's gifting me the view I desire.
okay,
So, like I said, me and you are not that far. So I sat back and took this time to figure out, educate me in some areas, figure out other ways, see other avenues where I can dedicate my time to creating something so that when it gets better and it becomes some type of norm, now I have another avenue.
mm,
I have another avenue. One thing that, and I'm not criticizing, so, I say this all the time. I'm not trying to criticize nobody.
mm,
I'm just trying to share my experience. I've taken this time and tried, I ask myself all the time, what skill have I learned? What book have I read? You
yeah,
know, Time, it's a extremely valuable thing that you cannot buy it.
mm-mm.
So this pandemic, boom, right here, I think you're like my eighth podcast I've recorded, right?
Nice,
And
okay,
I'm doing an increment, you know, and boom, I started a podcast. Boom, I got to focus on that custom tees, which is my t-shirt printing business.
mm,
Boom, I got to spend time more with my family, something that, I had a full time 60 hours a week. My family was my part time,
yeah,
and my job was
understand.
my full time. So what have you done? What to take this time and invest in something so when it comes, your company could boom go up.
Well, one thing that I am doing right now that I definitely took advantage of because I got it's something that I just didn't have time for between picking up my kids from school to
That
dropping them
life,
off.
that life, hashtag that life.
Exactly, and I was the only driver in the house at the time for my previous relationship. And so, with that being said, I wind up having to even help my ex-wife at the time. I wind up having to help her in her business. She's a massage therapist, having to get her from A to B. and on top of that, scoot down back to my business, then go back to her, drop her off at home, then go back to my business, and then go get the kids, drop them off at home, go back, take care of more business, come home if I had to, go home, help with dinner, whatever it was. So it was crazy, and I could say with all that madness, once it simmered down, and I was like, what can I do right now? And it was something that I wanted to do for a while, and it was get my certification for training dogs to get certified.
Nice.
So I'm on the road for that.
Nice.
I've
Nice.
passed my first exam. I almost aced. I got one wrong, but I got a couple more exams to do, and that's something I'm looking forward to because I do have the knowledge. I know I'm excellent at what I do. I love what I do, and anybody who has met me, and I've done an interview or they have me, taking care of their loved one, then they would tell you no without a doubt, or just my friends in general, that I'm very honest, I'm very real, I'm very blunt. I don't believe in lying. I hate lying. It's just a pet peeve of mine. So uh, I believe that we have so much time here, and while you're here, whatever you say counts. So you should take your time to make sure you know what you're gonna say, and don't waste it because you never know, what you could miss. So I try to
Preach,
take
brother.
my
Preach.
yeah, I try to take as much time as I can to listen to people and to soak up anything that I can as far as knowledge wise. You're never too old to learn something new. Um, and just get inspired by everybody. You inspire me too because I see you a lot of times where I might be having a bad day or something, and I'll see you and you'll be walking through the park, or you're talking to the camera, and I'm like, man, I'm not there yet. You don't see me talking to the camera. I'm not there where
Yeah, but
I
you
can
know
feel
what?
like
You know what it is, man. It's. Let me tell you what it is. I grew up in an environment that I didn't give a fuck about anything.
okay,
Meaning, what people thought or
okay,
people thought of me or think of me. I didn't care.
mm,
But one thing I'll say, and I constantly have this conversation with my wife, and is that I moved here, and I feel like everything it's mental. You
mm,
know, the environment will try to break you down mentally.
yeah,
So once they break down your mental, that's it.
yeah,
That's it.
they're
That's why you,
crushed.
you have so much fucking uh, pills addiction, so much depression, so much of that shit, right? And when I do those videos, and it took me a while to actually feel comfortable in doing them
Mm,
because living here took what I once was and felt and didn't care about, that mentality. It took it away quickly,
okay,
you know. Um, and then it took me a while, maybe years, to to be able to find myself again,
mm,
and in a better way, right? Because
okay,
as time goes by, as we evolve, and we want to become better.
yeah,
So I'm at that point that I'm trying to be a better version of me, and if I keep anything, it's because they're valuable to me.
mm,
So I basically said fuck it, and sometimes I'll go and do those fucking videos. And
okay.
if you like it, you like it. You don't like it. Who the
Well,
fuck cares? But if you stay stuck in that mentality of people, gonna criticize you or fear what they're gonna say, or you're just a fucking procrastinator,
mm.
you're never gonna do anything.
Nah,
It took me 4 years. I had my company for 4 years, and these last 2 years, I've actually done something.
eh, it takes a while just to sometimes to get those fish biting.
Hmm.
But all it takes is one big fish, and that one big fish spreads the wildfire, and then you don't have a problem. You have a great problem.
Hmm.
So Um, those I don't like to call problems. I just like to call them opportunities, and it's just how you present them and how you deal with them. And of course, you can't. I don't think you can become great without helping other people along the way. You
But
know,
that
because
that's that is what greatness is you putting yourself in a position that you don't want to be great. You want the people around you to be great.
yeah.
And this is why you're here. This is why I made this, because this if this was a stock, it will be plummeting. We need more of this. We need definitely more of this. You know?
Yeah, but I definitely believe that you know your time should be spent wisely. Um, if you hit a fork in the road, talk to other people
Yeah.
because they're going through the same thing, and they might be able to inspire you in a different way that you haven't thought of. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so keep an
100%.
open yeah keep an open mind and just don't give up, of course, because the fact is there's so many people out there that are going through the same thing, and if you give up right away, then guess what? It wasn't meant to be for you. It wasn't your passion because the people that stick to their guns and literally do not give up and they love what they do, it shines out no matter what. There's no stopping it. Okay, because I tell people all the time, and it might upset people, and they might just think, oh, he's thinking about money. But I tell people I'm going to be rich, and I tell everybody
Yeah.
I'm going to be rich, and I don't say, well, maybe I might. I say, no, I'm going to be rich. I've had dreams that are just waiting for them to come true.
Yeah.
So with that being said, when you have this vision and your vision is so big that you can't even share it with everybody because some people can't even see your vision. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's some people that don't it's very true to the point of where, like, if someone tells you, like, you have to watch who you share that with and who uh certain things, because there are plenty of people that just want to bring you down. They see you climbing up, and they're stuck in the that slave mentality of, I gotta get that check every week and
Yeah.
that's all I depend on. And then what happens when furlough happens, or your business just goes out altogether, or they decide to fire you or something like that. You just got no netting underneath you. So if you build something from the ground up, guess what? Then who's going to take what from you? You
Mm-hmm.
can't. It's only you could only destroy your business. That's it. So
Exactly.
um me learning from just other people's mistakes um, is definitely helped me out, and I want to be really hard on myself. If I make a mistake, and listen, we all made hiccups in businesses and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I could say that it's never happened again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can say I've done is I've progressed and learned from my mistakes. I believe in, if you make the same mistake twice, it shouldn't happen more than that, because it should be a learning experience. And whatever you can do to create that to not happen ever again, do so. Because the last thing you want is to build up excuses, or and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear a boatload of I'm sorries and I'll do better. And no, no, no. It's you're gonna lose little by little. You might gain the experience
Mm-hmm.
and learn from it, which is fantastic. Um, but if you just keep on repetitive stuff, then it's going to snowball, and then you're going to really have a problem after a
Yeah.
while.
It's definitely a process. It's it's a lot of when you're starting something, you only know the idea.
Yeah.
You don't know how it works or what works for you. So
Hmm.
it's going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of headaches, a lot of you're being in a bad mood. But that's what happens when you care about something and you see something that has potential.
Hmm.
You look at you go on my website, you look at my social media, you look at anything. My grammar is never perfect, My editing is never perfect, and my wife, she critiques me a lot, and my response is okay, but leave
Mm,
it there, because we live in 2020 that you know everyone that is successful will show you the brand new car, the brand new shoe, the brand new jewelry. They won't show you when times were difficult.
mm.
So it's like they're selling this illusion. So you go and start your business, you're expected to make 100,000 in a month.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
listen. I have when it comes down to how much you want to make in a week, that's all up to you.
Hmm.
You know how much you want to make in a year, that's all up to you. Um, it's all about finding out every avenue that your whatever your business is into, and just finding out every kind of option there is to spread the word, and maybe get something like a contract started, or something where mine
Yes,
aren't
yes.
contracts, but I have weekly, where I used to have is I had the keys to your house, which is an honor to me, because most of the people I meet, they just go off of my reviews, or if it's literally a recommendation, then it's a walk in the park, because people put me on such a high pedestal that literally I don't even have to ask for the keys. They already given to me and handed out. I'm like, oh, okay.
And that goes to show that you're trustworthy, because if they're giving you the keys without here, take it
Yeah,
and go to their house, to their temple, to their palace,
yeah,
their sanctuaries, is because what you have provided, your credibility
yeah,
is beyond anybody's imagination. And at least for me, when it comes to my businesses, my credibility comes first, the money comes second.
yeah,
That's my motto.
yeah. I've done a lot of stuff that people wouldn't agree with, because they were like, you can make more money. What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not about the money. It's about keeping someone at least happy without trying to take advantage of them, just because you could. Also, there's you should know your worth, of course, because I've had plenty of people try to make me dummy down my prices, and also just ask for deals and stuff like that, and I'm talking about someone that's going to spend maybe their dog with me for 2 weeks, and it's coming close to like almost $1,000 for them to stay for the 2 weeks, and they're like, all right, give me the best deal you can, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be almost $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
It's
I know
not
what
easy.
I'm worth. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels bad in a sense, because you just like, you don't feel bad. Let me rephrase that. Um, it might feel bad to them, because the fact is, when you know what you're worth and you don't budge, and you're good with being okay with losing that person because they don't see your true value, then it's okay to let that person go.
have you
Another. Yeah.
have you have a come across somebody telling you, oh, that how is it, because they asked this question, this I have one guy, right, that the he thinks I don't remember him, but like every year, I'm going on 3 years, that he'll come and send me an email asking me, for a quote for some hoodies or t-shirts, and I give him my price, and he comes and tells me, yeah, but I know this guy who'll do it for half of the price.
So why don't
And
you go in there?
that's my response. That's my
Exactly.
response. Like, have you ever encountered that?
Oh yeah, of course. And I see that's where it pays to know your competitors' prices and stuff like that. Now you could put me in where there's you could put me in where I'm in a little bit too much, or you could put it where I'm too little. I'm in the more in the middle. Okay, I like to
All
be
right.
fair, but I know there's people that charge almost way more than I do, and then there's people that charge way less. Now, one thing I could tell you is that the people that charge way less, yeah, you're gonna get tons and tons of business, but guess what? You're gonna get burnt out, and that tons of business is not going to accumulate to what your worth is, because the fact is your time is now getting taken by so much people, that the little amount that you're making is not really adding up. Now, I've done numbers on certain people what they're making, and then I would tell them what I'm charging, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I need to work for you," and I'm like, "That sounds good," but at the same time, like I said, it's knowing what you're worth, because at the drop of the dime, someone wants to go out at late at night, and you have no business, and they just want to give you a drop of a call, and it's easy for them to spend 10, 15 bucks or 20 bucks for a whole night out and not have to worry about their kid at home, their
Hmm.
fur baby. So with that being said, um, I had to start charging double, because the fact is that, hey, you're taking me away from my kids. My kids are, they're young enough to where that time gets taken away, you're not getting that back. So I made it a point to make sure that it was going to be worth coming out. And if I come out that late, or if I charge a normal rate from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Anything after 5 p.m. and you're taking me away from my 8-hour shift that I just worked, then I guarantee nobody that works ever, or anybody, will like to come back to work go all the way back to work for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and that's going to take about an hour or so out of your day, and that's taken away from your family to come back home and then almost put them to bed. You know,
See,
so
yeah, I see. This is how I know you're going to be something, and everything you want is going to come to you, because exactly what you said. Not everybody does that,
no,
and
because they
that same mentality. I've gone through it so many times with business wise, with work wise. I know how that feels, and I get totally when you're saying, you're gonna take time away from my family, motherfucker, you're gonna pay.
exactly.
You get what I'm saying? I got offered 85,000 a
That's
year
nice.
for an employment, and to manage a building in New York, in White
Mm,
Plains, New York, and
that's a
it
that's a
got
hop, skip, and a
out.
jump. Yeah.
Yeah, mind you, my position is I'm an operation manager. I ran 50 plus sites, 200 plus employees. Uh, my salary wasn't even half. No, probably half of that, or a little bit
Uh,
more.
man,
And but my position, I had delivery, made my own schedule, go to meetings, schedule meetings. I didn't have to fucking sit in the office all fucking day.
that's good.
And I said, you're gonna have to give me 95,
Yeah,
because now you're taking me away from my family.
yeah.
You
See,
know.
that's good. You got to know
Now,
your worth.
yeah, I said 95. I didn't know they were gonna give me it.
You're like shit, dude. See, that's what I love. I love that. That's inspirational shit right there to me.
Hmm.
I love it.
And I said no. I said
Nice,
no. I said no.
nice.
With me, everything has to come down from respect.
Yeah.
Respect. Everything has to come down with respect. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm no longer with that dude, because they have no respect.
Mm,
If you have a price tag, they're nothing.
yeah.
Anybody can buy you. So, but
Exactly.
going back to what I said, I totally understand where you're coming from, and that's how I know you will become something more, because
Thank you.
I think the same way, and not everybody fucking thinks that way, and everybody
No,
should.
no. So everybody is very hungry, and sometimes they're so hungry that they forget that why they're doing it for. I'm doing this because I want to build an empire for my kids, for something to pass on to them that they could say is theirs and nobody could take it away from them.
Yes.
It's something that will be built for them, and that if they decide to keep it or to bury it, it would be on them. But at the same time, it'll be something that I pray to be so big that I can branch out, into
Yeah.
different areas of New Jersey, on top of New Jersey, just all over the place. Like I have goals that I don't really share, but it's just it's stepping stones of what I'm doing, which is of course the first step is now getting my training. The next step will be something else after I'm getting that done. I have certain plateaus that I of course I want to master before I even come close to trying to step into another avenue and open up another avenue for revenue to come my way. I don't feel like you should just grab everything and anything, because of course with
Hmm.
that comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of headaches if you're not ready to, or you're not prepared to deal with it head on.
True, true, true.
A lot of people they ask for certain things and then they regret it later on because they want to be busy, really
Hmm.
busy, and then next thing you know, they have no clue what they're talking about, because when the shit hits the fan and they got the money coming through, now it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't walk this dog today. Maybe I should just leave him in and make believe. And now I'm getting clients,
They get
like new clients.
sloppy. They get sloppy.
Yes, and that's what's going to happen all day long with this when it comes down to nowadays, because the fact is, people are getting so hungry that they don't want to turn down everybody or anybody. They just want that quick buck, and they're placing themselves in places where they can't be, and then the dogs are suffering in the long run, or they're literally just going in the house, and people are like, "What's going on here?" And then next thing you know, they're realizing they put a camera up or something like that, and they see that the dog's not even being taken out. They're taking a
Yep.
picture of the dog maybe in the front of the porch, and then bringing the dog right back upstairs. So a lot of people are just doing just backward ass shit, which is, it doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're gonna do something like that, then just don't do it at all. Like, you know,
It defeats the purpose.
yeah, you're
Uh,
building an appetite for destruction, and you're gonna crumble either which way.
yeah, I think I have, and like I said it before, all my episodes are I'm pre-recording everything because I want to release them in 2021. I feel like
Nice.
um, it's a new year, new opportunity. Things you already have something there that you didn't know already happened. You don't know if this podcast is gonna fucking blow up, and the reason it blows up is your episode.
Uh,
So it's like a hidden gift that you have there that you don't know. And
well,
I want to give the opportunity for everybody to start the new year. And I think people like us and many others that put in the work are going to come out better than a lot of people. A lot of
mm,
people they took this pandemic, they 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 really lost their job because they didn't want to go back to work. They wanted to stay at home, getting that $600 extra.
yeah,
You know, this I think this is a good time because it's a lot of reflection.
yeah,
Uh, me personally, I've taken this time to do other things, but also reflect. Realizing who I married or who I don't have a relationship with, or who can I have a relationship with,
mm,
or who that said I need to cut you out because that energy I don't need that in my life.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people, and just seeing through social media, right? I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but just taking this time for granted, you know.
yeah.
And I think the people that have done the work and have always done the work are going to come on top this year.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I when we talk about like social media, I was just thinking about it. It's very hard for me to even post stuff and everything because I see my kids, um, their heads buried in phones and electronics all day long, and it's a little nauseating because I was born in '77, so I'm 43. So we didn't come across none of that stuff growing up, and let alone even cell phones. So with that being said, I'm a different generation. I'm old school, but at the same time, I love to spoil my kids rotten as all people do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's come across to me now where I'm just like, that's it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you either choose that, and if you're gonna fight over it, it's done altogether. And get a timeline, 1 hour, or let
Mm-hmm.
them decide. Like how much time do you think is enough time to be on electronics? Because you think it's fair for me not to get to know you, and God forbid something happens to me and you don't even know your father
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
your face is buried in electronics all day. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. I love you guys enough to pull you guys away.
I use my phone. My phone is a tool.
Mm,
It's a tool, business tool. You know, before uh, I was always on my phone. It's just stupid reason, right?
mm,
And I became I started realizing that it was too time consuming. My son was growing up right in front of me, and my head is in this fucking in this
yeah.
shit that it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
tool, and everything I post, like I have my personal page, social media, then now I have my business page. I'm
Yeah.
more on my business page because everything I post or I write is business related. And
Mm,
once I post it, boom, I'm done. And I don't even use that. I use a lot of automatically post. I just create everything and then set it up for a date and just boom. Because like you're saying, we spend so much time on this technology and it's worthless. I grew
yeah.
up. I grew up like I said. I grew up in Puerto Rico. At 8 o'clock, my grandmother used to yell, "It's time to come home." I came from school, did my homework. I was unfortunate enough. I had a baseball park behind my house and a basketball court.
That's
And
always good.
everybody from the barrio used to come home and fucking play and play softball or we play basketball. We played tag, hide and go seek. Fucking if it rained, we fucking just ran in the rain like crazy. So like I became with a phone. My first phone, I was like 21 and I'm 31.
Hmm.
So that's 10 years ago, my first phone. And I think what you're saying is true. I think we're investing our time in too much of this shit, and I just got a new phone. In 6 months, they're gonna come up with a new version of it. When I try to trade it in, they're gonna give me $60. Even though the phone has no scratch, brand new, they give me $60, and I had to fucking pay what, almost six hundred
800.
dollars. Yeah,
Exactly.
so I think having balance is very important.
Yeah,
You
especially with
know,
your family too. Like, don't ever sacrifice your business for your family. Like, I mean, the time um, uh, for business wise. And I could say to you, being a spiritual guy, I've prayed that I can have a job, not alone a job, but a business where I can still make money and then make my kids a part of my business. And anybody who knows my page and follows my page will see
yes,
my kids
yes.
interacting with them, going nuts and stuff like that. So with that being said, it's all real, and I like to do more videos. Of course, some days are harder than others where the kids they don't want to do nothing; they just want to play the games. I'm like,
They
come
don't
on,
want to
like
cooperate.
yeah, I'm like, do you see who's here? Like, we haven't seen Romeo, we haven't seen this pup, or this, we haven't seen this dog for such a long time. Like, what are you guys? You're just spending time on. Like, get off of that, get off of that. And I get it. Believe me, I was all about video games. I still play video games now. I can't even play them because my kids just have total control over the TV. So
Yeah.
I don't even look in that direction. If I get on it, I play with them for a little bit, and then I let them get back on by themselves, and I go and just relax, and watch them have some fun. But for the most part, I try not to get them in like just engulfed in it so far that they God forbid electronics or electricity is gone for like a week or so. God forbid. But if it does, and it did happen, I would say, what will you do? Like, are you really going to be that bored where there's like nothing to do on board? Like,
I grew up, like I said, I grew up some days that we didn't have water because the pipes were broken somewhere in Carao. There was no light. We had shit. I remember it was a hurricane. We didn't have light for like 3 months. All water. Although they had trucks come in and we had like gallons and shit like that, we would fill them up.
that's
And
rough.
I miss those days.
Yeah,
I miss those days because
appreciate stuff more.
yeah, I don't appreciate the mosquitoes. They'll fuck
I
you
would never
up.
appreciate.
But I kind of miss those days because you know maybe I don't know maybe because we're getting older because we're
Mm.
old we're old people that's like I'm out there but it's like you had more camaraderie. You actually could speak to somebody and have a
Right.
conversation. You know, nowadays it's like the biggest conversation is who's hot
Yeah.
or
Or what's popping on social media.
yeah, like you know, listen to music that you honestly can't understand shit they're saying. You know,
So I tell my kids, I'm like, listen, this is classic. I like my rap music. So with that being
yeah,
said, I put them onto a lot of stuff from back in the day, and my younger ones are now they're listening to what I listen to, and they say, "Oh, I want to see what you're listening to," and then they go and Google it, and they'll YouTube it or whatever, and then next thing you know, I hear them listening to it. I'm like, ah, okay.
yeah. I
So
was
that's
listening to Rakim. Can't remember the song, but I can't remember the fucking song it was. But I was into Rakim, and I was talking to my wife like, you know, no cursing,
yeah, yeah,
no degrading. Everything's just straight up rhyming and poetry and shit.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and now it's just you know
Same shit. How much money you
lean,
got?
yeah, lean,
How
lean, lean money,
Yeah,
dollars.
yeah.
Oh,
Drugs, women,
drugs.
and how much you're spending it, and
Yeah,
how many girls you screw in and
yeah.
stuff
I
like.
remember back in the day when Gangster Rap came out, they were rapping about all that shit because they were trying. That was the only gateway to get out of it,
Yeah,
the better life. Now you see people just being you know millionaires and just doing it because they're about that life.
yeah.
You know, it's like so they defeat the purpose of the message.
It's more to me. It's more of hyping up, the violence, the mistreat, mistreating women and degrading women, and just like it's just like the stupid challenges that people are doing. Like there's so many things that's like you have to have. Like I know common sense isn't too common, but come on, man.
No,
There's some.
that you have to now you have to be born with that. That's like a talent.
Yeah, it's like
That's a gift.
I'm like, are you serious? Like, yo, you know that was common sense. Like, are you okay right now? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all right, don't worry about it. It's okay. That one just it's not gonna stick. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So you're right. There's a lot of people that don't have common sense, and um, you just got to be mindful of that. And I try I try to be as forgiving as possible and understanding because
And
you never
sometimes
know
you
what
gotta shake your head and like, oh,
you don't know what people are going through. Anybody could be
yeah.
going through some. I'm at a point right now where I'm trying to learn for a gentleman that literally inspires me. And when I'm with him, he's an older gentleman, used to be a pastor, and I met him in my daughter's school. And I send him a Bible quote. He sends me one every morning for years now. You know, and this gentleman, literally, when I've hung out with him or we've gone to lunch and, just sit and politic and stuff, would just compliment everybody and anybody he saw,
Mm-hmm.
like pretty much like, hey, those are nice boots. And or oh, hey, you sitting there today? Are you sitting here? Oh, I like your glasses. Enjoy your meal. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, yo, I can't do that because I'm so far in my head that, this person is gonna think that I want to get with them, or this
Mm-hmm.
person is gonna think I'm gay because I'm telling a guy that he looks good, he's dressed nice,
Or they look
or
at you weird and like,
yeah,
what's
like
wrong with you? You got a problem.
yeah. And then I just started breaking out of my shell and just literally, hey, that suit with yo, I'm gonna let you know, my dude, yo, that suit is fire. You look sharp today, and just keep it moving, and you just see their face change from just the normal like what they were going through, just like and then of course you got people that they don't care, but still you will more than likely, I would say 95% of the time, pick up someone's day comparison to just walking by somebody that you literally think they might need it. Like if they see they look upset, like, yeah, someone told me you got a beautiful smile, and then they just might crack a smile, be like, there it is,
There you go.
and be like, all right, you have a great day, boom, be out the door. Like it's literally stuff like that that I'm trying to, I'm starting to try to do because he inspired me to do it, and I've seen it actually change people's mood and just made me feel like a better person.
For no reason.
Um, yeah, and it's just something that takes literally 2 seconds, like, or 3 seconds, just to stop and just tell somebody that you admire something, or just something inspirational. And we need more people like that because with all the crap that's going on right now, there's just so much stuff. I alone, which some people don't know, but I lost my wife of being with a relationship of 13 years, my father and my grandmother all in 1 week.
Wow.
Okay, this is about a month ago. So I'm still sort of picking up the pieces, but at the same time, I'm here. I'm alive. My business is still alive. It's still growing, even though it's lost. All of my old clients are gone. Now I'm starting to build. It's like um, a fresh new path with new clients, and I know that within time, when all those old clients come back, then it's just going to be like, wow, okay,
Bonus.
yeah, now I'm really really good, and I need that other person back again, and now it's time to start thinking about bigger options, because of course, um, one thing you don't want to do is just be stuck in that repetitive, cycle. You want to break the cycle always, whether it be something in your family where no one made it, and everybody has always been in poverty, or on welfare or food stamps, whatever, WIC, whatever you want to call it. I've been on it. I just can't. I've literally just not come off, and I'm still using certain things that are helping me aid to get by right now. But at the same time, I'm not ashamed of even saying it, because the fact is, my clients know what I have on my plate and what's been taken away from my plate.
Yeah, and no one should be ashamed of it. You should only be ashamed of it when you're using that to basically live off the system. That
Yes, abuse it.
it's there to help you
Yeah, yeah,
momentarily, so you could reach where you need to go. But a lot of people just stay there, and
yeah. They come complacent, and
yeah,
and
yeah, and you have to have this drive, this hunger of just live life. It's fine if you have your 9 to 5 and you want to stay there. That's fine, but do something.
mm,
Live it, because time, she's going. It's
yeah,
going. One moment I moved here when I was 10. Now I'm 31. And it's gone in the blink of an eye,
yeah,
and they're not appreciating it. And one thing you said that I admire, and it's because this, like I said, it's my mentality too. Is leaving something for my kids,
mm,
you know, and I have a problem when people post and say, "Oh, uh, what is that? What is that they say? They say as, oh, you're privileged
mm. Okay,
because they left you some inheritance, or your
okay,
your 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 you know your parents have money and you have money. Now, if they're saying privilege because the kids are dicks, that's fine. I respect that.
mm.
But you shouldn't degrade somebody because their parents wanted a better life for them, and it's
Yeah,
capitalizing on that in a
mm,
good way, right?
yeah,
And it goes the same thing with, a lot of people try to play other people, because they grow up with both parents.
mm, yeah, and
And I find that fucked up, because you're trying to put somebody down for your insecurities and your hurt and your pain,
yeah,
instead of saying, hey, be that person, appreciate a little more. You have your dad and your mom, or you have your dad, or you have your
exactly.
mom.
Yep.
And that's also another thing that fucking people lack on in
Mm,
general, you know?
mm-hmm.
And this is just building something if I could leave my son.
That's what it's all about. And you're
And
doing it right too.
yeah,
You're
because
still
nothing,
young.
yeah.
You
And
got
it took
plenty of.
and it took me a while to get to here, you know, because it's trial and error.
Right.
And sometimes we need to take a step back in order to visualize what is the step forward going to be. You
Yeah.
know, it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight,
Nope.
and we need those moments to find clarity. So when the future comes, when we work there, we know how to manage it. We know how to handle it.
Yeah, yeah. Everything takes baby steps, and literally, like we were speaking before about, is just don't give up. Keep up with that drive, and anybody tells you, you have to understand. I got four girls, you know, and I used to have two stepsons, so I had six kids when I was married, and I could say when I had my last one, which is 4 years old now, my father, when he was alive, told me, you know what? You're gonna have to do what I did. And mind you, he only had me and my brother. Um, and he told me you're gonna have to get three jobs. Don't, you know, this is it's your business is not doing anything. You can only pray that it gets better. But I hate to say this, you're gonna have to get about three jobs to help you. And I said, you know what? I was like, I'm not listening to anything you have to say. What you're saying, what I'm gonna do is what you did, not what I don't have to do what you did. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create something that is going to help me build, make more money than you did with your three jobs combined in one job, and I'm still going to be able to bring my kids around my work because it's my business. So therefore, if I want to bring my four girls with me to work and have my own, they will more than help you. And all my clients know that I'm a family man. So
Let them know.
yeah, yeah, I don't fold for nothing when it comes down to. I mean, I'm more than respectful when it comes down to my timing. If I have something that I have planned out, my clients know like months. The day that I plan it, it's already set in stone, and I let them know that I'm not available. And it doesn't even matter if someone calls me on a drop of a dime. I let them know I'm sorry. I'm tied up at the moment. My apologies for any inconveniences, and that's what you do. You can be sorry, but at the same time, don't be sorry enough to miss out on your kids growing up, because the fact
Yeah.
is, once it's gone, it's gone. Once they hit their teens, which my kids, um, I've got one teenager and one about to be a teen. So with that being said, when they hit that teenage year and they start dating and stuff like that, it goes out the window, and the time flies after that because they want to spend time with their friends, their
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
or their girlfriend, whatever the sexes that you have as a kid. But like literally, plenty of people can they can relate to what I'm talking about, because that time is taken away, and it's never the same. You'll never get it back.
Yeah, yeah, and like for individuals like us, it's like they always give you an option. You're going to, choose to either you work or your family, but you can't do both.
Yep.
And I was told numerous of times that, and my response it was always fuck that. I'm gonna do both, and
See.
that's why it's taken me so long to get where I'm at, because hey, it's gonna take as long as it needs, but I'm not letting either one go.
Yeah.
No, because
See.
you need sometimes you need a 9 to 5 to provide until you get to where you need you at, but you also need your family,
Hmm.
because the shit like the shit I've gone through working my 9 to 5,
Hmm.
the only way I was able to get a straight mindset is having my family.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's your foundation. You need that.
Exactly. And as long as it takes, fuck it. I'm not choosing either one. And a lot of people do that, and then their business have gone grow faster, and they're up here, but when their family, they pass away, and they only worry about the money.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, for other people who do have family, I mean, they have kids and they're being taken away from their family, and they kind of don't want to separate the two, and you do have a business where it's your own business, do this. One thing with having six kids in the household at one point in time, I learned that you can't just take out everybody at one time. Everybody gets, they won't get, you won't get, all of them won't get attention if you have that many kids. Okay. So what we would do was we would take them out one by one, do one-on-ones with them. My ex-wife would do some with one kid. I would do one, so we would alternate. and they would all get that time focused on them. And when I did it with me, of course, it was easier for me than anything else, because I was alone. I could be able to bring one of them, and then the great thing about that was they got to see a side of me of how I am and how good I am with animals, and then I got to tell them the do's and don'ts, to protect themselves, and also just
The
to
bond.
yeah, that bonding time, that the value of teaching them, and just having conversations with them of finding out how their day went, specifically, and then maybe going to grab a bite to eat if I had enough money on me or we had enough time before it was getting too late or something like that. But um, those times I have on my timelines, I look back at and I'm just like, wow, I thank God that I'm literally blessed enough to have the business I've had, to still be running, and to make my kids a part of it, and they're always been a part of it. And they have their favorites, where they have a favorite cat or they have a favorite dog, and so it's been nice, to actually have that. And anybody who is trying to separate the two, or don't separate it, join it in a way where you make your kids a part of it as well, and just make sure that your clients know that, hey, this is a part of me too. So you want this package, they're part of the deal. But guess what, these people, like my kids, they already know, they eat it up like cookies, because the fact is they see how good they are, and it stems from me. And they know, they actually can see it in a video, and I'll make sure that they mostly, it's not even pictures, because I want them to see how good my kids are with their loved ones.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that helps out tremendously with me, like being able to breathe better and sleep better at night, knowing that at least I spent that one-on-one time with them, and got to get them like some ice cream afterwards real quick, or slice of pizza, something like that. And we talk about the cat or the dog that we visit and stuff like that. And so all that stuff, throughout the years, has been great for me. So, and anybody can do it. You just got to make sure you incorporate them into your business, as they, like they're part of that business as well. It's not just your business, it's a family business.
Yeah, it makes them feel important, and
Yeah.
they're part of something great.
Yep.
That's 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 great advice. That's
Thank you.
very
Thank
good.
you. Well, believe me, I've had my hiccups where the kids don't want to go half the time. Where sometimes they're oh man, I have to walk for 30 minutes. I'm like, are you serious? We went and played over here by the basketball court, or we went over here for like 2 hours. You're running around, and now we're walking around in a circle, and you're complaining.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll say they don't want to. Then when they they go, they immediately realize the best thing was to go.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what a lot of parents have a problem with. They're trying to be a friend to their kid, and you have to be the adult and be the parent and say,
Hmm.
no, we're going. Get your stuff, and they'll huff and puff a little bit here and there. But guess what? Once you get that time out there, and they're like, I had a good time. And as long as you don't get frustrated, because hey, come on, we all get frustrated from kids. They could all drive us nuts, but in the long run, they're gonna do more great shit for us, and more stuff that's gonna definitely make our hearts melt than anything comparison to us wanting to like literally scream and pull our hair out for. So
Definitely, definitely, definitely. That's so true. That's very,
uh,
very, very true.
it's like it's definitely hidden gems. You just gotta find them.
Yeah, it's all work. Building a relationship with your kids. It's work. Everything is work. It's
Yeah, yeah,
it's it's trial and error. It's work. It's a learning curve. And but for as long as you want to and continue putting the time where it's needed, everything's gonna be okay, man.
yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, just riding this wave real quick and making sure
Yeah.
like it don't crash, and keeps on. I could stay on top of that surf and ride it all the way
We
out. But
need as humans, we need these ups and downs to define a character, to find purpose. Imagine if everything was happy, she would be
mm,
miserable.
oh yeah, no. I've envisioned and have told people, I wish there was no rich, there was no poor, everybody was middle class, and everybody pretty much had everything that everybody else has, because then there won't be no stealing, there would be
Mm-hmm.
no robbing,
Mm-hmm.
there would be no, oh, he's got a pair of Jordans, he's got a pair of Yeezys, and he's got some Olympians, or
There'll be no debate that your daddy has money and that's why you got money. And I never
yes,
had any. There'll be nothing. No, there'll be
that
none of that.
it equal. It's called the balance. If everybody
Mm-hmm.
was balanced straight out,
Mm-hmm.
there wouldn't be no reason for all that, you know. So that's like in a perfect world in my head.
Yeah. Oh well, it's been an hour, brother.
Oh, I
Um,
know, I know. I'm waiting for you. If I don't want to cut your
uh,
podcast short, so whatever you want to do is on you.
it's been an hour. I gotta do some stuff.
Yeah, definitely,
Um,
man.
thank you for joining me today. It's been a amazing pleasure. I wish we can do this again.
Yes, definitely. Well, we'll link up sooner than later, if anything, where we can actually share each other's thoughts comparison. I know this is our first time actually meeting,
Yes, yes, and
so
it's been great. It's been great. Please let
yeah.
the public know, everybody that's listening, where can we find you at so they can check
Uh,
you out.
it's Pawfessional Pet Care. So just like a professional, but put paw and then professional. So Pawfessional Pet Care. You
Look
can
at
find
that
me on
wordplay.
Instagram. You can you can find me on Facebook. You can check out my Yelp reviews. It's actually, the link is in the description and my bio on in my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram page, you'll be able to see my Yelp. It's linked together. So, and of course, you get to see what kind of person I truly am when it comes
Which
down
is
to
an
my page.
awesome person.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
He takes amazing care of these pets. You definitely, if you're in the Hudson County, Jersey
Yep.
City area, and you need a pet babysitter or somebody that
Or
wants.
boarding. I do boarding, or I'll come to you visit. Well, I do pet sitting, and anything that doesn't work out, or doesn't, to even if we can't agree to something. I know plenty of people where I do point people in another direction if I have to, if need be. I definitely, like I said, I believe in lifting others as well.
Definitely. Well, check them out. John, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Please, let's do this again. And
Yes, anytime, man.
have a good night, brother.
Yes, take care, brother.